You got to be down for right. You got to be down to make it right. Because if not, you're just on the other side.
When I mentioned your music at the top, it is amazing how well it holds up in 2020, especially some of the things that you were saying about the police, 20 some years ago. It was you that said, or the first person I heard say, the police, the biggest gang in America, right? And police reform, even though maybe to your point, reform is not the right word, but reconstructing or reimagining the police is a big part of this document, A Contract with Black America. Why are the police, based off what you've experienced, what you've read and all that, why do the police seem so resistant to the most basic things? I mean, what people are asking is, A, don't kill us, right? Like, that's not that hard, right?
Yes.
Don't kill us, especially when
Simple.
we're unarmed. Real simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't want any checks and balances. And I'm just grasping my mind and trying to figure out, how did they get like this? So why is it with the police that they are unable to see that they need more oversight? I don't get it.
Well, I think it's a system. I think the origin of the police in this country and how we even became police officers tells you a lot about the system itself. They're operated, for one, most police don't give a damn about your rights. They're taught to win. Win, go home at night. That's it, pretty much. Win, go home at night. And so it builds a us versus them mentality. And they do operate like a gang, and they'll tell you, we the biggest gang in the city. And they, do what they want. And they don't want to stop that. It's kind of like, sometimes we're like a sport. And, tell some guys they can't play football, you know what I mean, after on Turkey Day, and see what kind of fights you get. So, we're not a sport. We're humans, and we're not going to take that. We're not going to be abused. We understand you got to get the bad guys. We want you to get the bad guys, but leave the good guys alone and the good girls alone. And so that's just how it is. We've had enough, and they have to change the way they are. They can change overnight. All they got to do is treat us like they treat white citizens, and everything will be all right.
Yeah, the power of the police union, I think people are now trying to understand just how powerful these unions are. Because I'll be honest, as much as I felt like I knew about this issue, I was not aware that so many cities were being held hostage by the police unions with these contracts that are guaranteeing that they basically don't have to fire anybody, they don't have to be held accountable, and they are guaranteed raises no matter what is the level of performance. And I'm just like, there's no way in any part of business in America where this would actually fly. Like, it's preposterous.
And what's crazy, taxpayers, we pay all this money, and we're paying for the police, we're paying for the police unions and the DAs and all the people that work up in there, we're paying for them. Then the cop goes out, violates somebody, and then the city gets sued for millions of dollars, and then the taxpayers have to pay again, and that cop is not held accountable, and nobody's held accountable, and here we go again. And it's how many millions have taxpayers paid out because cops can't control themselves and understand their real duty? So it's just we're getting the shaft, going and coming, and there's no accountability, and it got to stop. It got to stop, because one thing America needs to, not only America, but the world needs to really understand is they're breeding generations of people who don't give a damn about authority. And so if they continue to do that, they won't have nothing. Nothing is going to work right. Nothing is going to function the way it's supposed to. And you get respect by giving respect. And when you're not giving nobody respect, it's not just Black people, it's everybody. Everybody that's not blue, gets treated most of the time with aggression if they're not totally submissive. And sometimes even when they are, they get it. So it just got to stop, and it will stop.
Now that you've developed this very comprehensive contract, what are your plans to do? Like, what do you plan to do with it now?
Get support, from people who, like I said, this is a document that needs to be perfected. We need smart people. We need everybody, all hands on deck, to create the perfect document that, somewhat deals with, our needs on a mass level. And then we got to present it to these candidates, we always talk about how conservatives come at us, but, white liberals come at us too hard when the rubber meets the road. Now the rubber is meeting the road, and you see people who may not be racist, but they are individualists, and they don't mind plugging into the racist system to benefit their own needs or wealth or whatever. We got to stop that shit too. You got to be down for right. You got to be down to make it right. Because if not, you're just on the other side, and showing that you're pretty anti-Black when it comes to our progress and our not just progress, but equality. It's time for equality.
You have not yet given this contract to any lawmakers?
No, right now I'm just dealing with people who are experts in some of these areas that I've touched on, and getting their feedback, getting their data. We want this to be full of comprehensive, easy to follow data. And like I said, we want everybody who has a real stake in this to be able to comment and make adjustments and make it better. And when we have a perfect document, then we'll start approaching lawmakers and saying, you need to support this, you need to sign on to this, and you need to help us achieve this.
Cuba, you kind of sound like somebody who could potentially run for office. I'm just saying, have you thought about at all, like, engaging in politics, given, your background, how passionate you are about these issues? You've collaborated to get this document together. I mean, that's something politicians do all the time.
Well, I just think I'm too real for politics. I think, just me being a citizen that's concerned about my people, all people, but we're the ones that's at the bottom of the totem pole. So, that's really what it's all about, is trying to, make people do their job at this point, find people that's down to push equality, true equality, and, let them do what they, get paid to do. And we'll see. I'll let you know who's on board and who's not. I'll let you know who's down for the cause and who's, nothing but a distraction. So, that's what it's all about.
Would you ever, and of course, this is a big assumption because there'd have to be some reception, right? I mean, they have to be able to receive it. But would you ever present this document to Donald Trump?
Yeah, I think everybody who down to make this happen should have a chance to make it happen. We at the bottom, to me, it's a shit show no matter who in there. We at the bottom. We ain't got nothing. We still struggling. So it don't matter, it's like we gotta get who's gonna be down with this, who's gonna make it work. I'm not a fan of Donald Trump. I'm not a fan of Joe Biden. Just not a big fan of either man. But if either man, had a moment, they call it come to Jesus moment, we want to be right there to make sure that our people benefit across the board, because crumbs ain't gonna work, appeasement's not gonna work, reform is an insult, you know what I mean, that you're just gonna rearrange your corrupt system. We need equality, and anybody down with that is down with me.
For people who haven't seen this contract, you do have it on your Twitter feed, and
Yeah.
you know, as I mentioned, it's very comprehensive. I know you said it's still a work in progress. You're still adding to it.
Yes, it's getting better every day. It's getting better every day. Yeah.
It definitely has a lot included. And one of the things that I think also that was important that was in there was talking about environmental racism, which kind of in all the other forms of racism we deal with, this is something that sometimes slides to the bottom of the priority list. I believe you have been in Flint recently because you're shooting Clarissa Shields' biopic, Flint Strong, which I can't wait to see this movie. You know, she's a boxer who became the fastest ever to win 3 divisions, male or female. You spent some time in Flint shooting this. What did you see when you were there? I mean, this is a community that has been ravaged by environmental racism. What stood out to you when you were there?
The spirit of the people. You know, the spirit of the people in Flint is to make it work, you know, to push through. You know, it's a real shame how the city has been kind of abandoned. So there's not very many people or resources, a lot of abandoned houses, but the people are still have light in them, and they still are looking to improve the community. So with a little help, with a little oversight, with a little give a damn, you know, the government can do a lot in that city to revive it. It's just a shame, but water's being poisoned everywhere. You know, we see, you know, what's happening. I mean, it's people in Compton who can turn on their faucet and light a fire, you know? So it's happening everywhere. And we gotta, it's all about the earth. You know, it's time to let the earth heal. You know, I mean, don't we have enough things? I mean, don't we have enough stuff? Everybody's house is full of stuff they need to get rid of. Everybody got a house full of stuff in the storage bin. Not everybody, but you know, the people that understand, you know, materialism is a road to nowhere, really. You know, so it's time for the people that know better to slow it down and not, you know, brag about it so much, and because we gotta let the earth heal at some point in time.